Okay, friends, here's the thing. Sometimes you get all these opportunities coming your way. You get blessed beyond blessed with jobs and work and family and partnerships and podcasts and producers and who start as strangers who become friends and now like family. And all of that is possible. All of that is available to us. All of that is in alignment with what we're supposed to be doing here if we stay out of our own way. If we acknowledge that we only have the job of operating in our greatness each and every day. That is what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. Operating in your greatness, walking in your purpose, moving in your divinity, and trusting that you're divinely guided and abundantly resourced more than ever. You see that every day, you feel it every day, you believe it, you trust it, and you own it. And the reason why it's today's episode and the one that really is going to, I have some notes, of course, as always, but one that is really near and dear to me is because yesterday I was having a real come to Jesus moment with my friend who was like, listen, why you tripping? Why don't you think, why are you acting why are you so afraid of your greatness? Why are you so afraid of being great? Why are you so why are you slowly self-sabotaging? And that is a question that I really had to sit with. I tossed and turned a little bit last night and I woke up at 1 a.m. and was like, okay, I can't sleep. I want to talk about this a little bit more. I want to think about this a little bit more. So I knew that we were recording today. And so it was a perfect way for me to be like, listen, this is the culmination of Joy for Life. I've talked to y'all about so much, taking you through my story of where I started and where I was born and grew up and living here in LA and, traveling all around the world and traveling all around the country. Living in a new city and state every 6 to 8 weeks, mother dying 19 years old my freshman year in college to finishing college and then having a job before I graduated. My first job was that one we talked about, me living in a new city and state every 6 to 8 weeks. From there, getting another job and actually quitting that job without having another job lined up, moving to a brand new city, setting up roots here in LA, was like, you know what? I know it's going to work out. I moved in with my brother and sister-in-law. I told y'all, he was like, what's up? My brother, he had a new baby. He was like, okay, what you got going on, sis? Because I know you always have something up, but I need to be more active and more knowing because you're here with my family and I want to make sure that you have a plan. I want to make sure that you are succeeding as you decided to just kind of uproot your life, right? Or actually root your life because I was completely unrooted already, to telling him, give me 6 months. I will get a job. I'll move out, get my own apartment. I'll have my own car. I'll be out of your house in 6 months. I was out in 3. I think it took me 3 months, not even. And I got a job and I got an apartment. I had a car and did all of those things because, again, I was in my own way, but got out of my own way. I knew, again, like I talked about, the belief in miracles. My life is a miracle. I'm a walking prayer, moving meditation. So we talked about that in the podcast. We talked about the fact of affirming who you are, how you speak to yourself, owning your place in this world, setting up roots, finding the fertile ground here in LA, the inspiration, the people to step out on my own, quit my job, quit my very cozy job, the second job that I got here when I moved to Los Angeles, quit that job to set out on my own, become a full-time entrepreneur. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of me working for myself, Ace Enterprises, LLC. I have been abundantly blessed. So many amazing things that I couldn't even think about when I was at my last company. And we've talked about that before. We've talked about the fact of hey, sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. I didn't know that my entire life was leaps of faith. So I would stay somewhere longer than I was supposed to, longer than I was needing to be there, just because I was scared. And that's, again, me not operating in my greatness, but my greatness never left me. So that's what we're going to talk about again today, you all. How, again, affirming through my affirmation practice, through my yoga practice, the power of yoga helping me remember that I am great, I am enough, I am divinely guided, I am abundantly blessed. I am great. Period. I can't help that. I can't run away from it. As much as I want to hide in the shadows of greatness, I just can't do it anymore. And anytime I try to, it's only hurting me. Anytime you try and hide from your greatness, anytime you try and hide and be in the shadow of your greatness, it's only doing a disservice to you. So we're going to talk about a few things. I'm going to read some stuff that's really been setting home for me. As y'all know, you've probably known by now that I do take notes, but a lot of what I say is very much channeled. And it is such a blessing that y'all are here listening. I am so grateful to every single person that is watching. I am so grateful to every single person that is listening, because guess what you do? Guess what you do? The importance of your presence allows me to be in my greatness every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I get to operate in my greatness because y'all show up. That means I get to show up for you. And in turn, I show up for myself. And everybody's winning when you recognize that you're showing up for yourself authentically each and every day. So y'all get ready. If you're driving, you know the rules. Don't take notes. Come back to this episode. If you're sitting cozy and you can take some notes, take some notes if you've not already started writing, because I want us to be able to take away from this entire journey Joy for Life with Alicia Krista Easter, the daughter of Cynthia Geneva Lawson, the granddaughter of Eleanor Cecilia Lawson. I want y'all to take lessons that I've learned from my mother in her life here on earth and in the afterlife, that operating in your greatness is your divine birthright. Anytime you are not operating in your divine greatness, anytime that you're not walking in your greatness, you are doing a disservice by God, your ancestors and spirit guides who set it up. All you got to do is close the deal. Think about God, the universe, spirit guides, anything you pray for. One, think about them as brokers, for example. I could use a sports analogy because I'm an athlete, played sports my whole life, right? You're on deck. You're A+ team, right? Y'all are up. Y'all are winning. All you got to do is close it out. All you got to do is focus, stay minding your business at the plate, stay doing what you're doing. And if you want to think about it from a broker perspective, because I'm pretty sure I got a lot of commercial real estate people listening right now, you're the broker. You broker the deal. You lobbed it up. All you did is you put it in a nice, God, the universe, spirit guides, put it in a nice little folder for you. Set it all up. All you got to do is close the deal. Close the deal. They did the work for you. I should probably say they're the researchers. They're the marketing. They're the social media. They're the PR. They're the brand ambassadors. There's everybody who puts this perfect folder together as you, as the broker, I should say, to close the deal. The client's there ready, pen ready to go. Life is ready. Life is ready for you to win. Number one, let life that's been decided for you help you to win. All right. So we got that one, and I've been talking for a minute, lobbed it up the episode, and I'm energized to be here, as y'all can always tell. But here's the thing. I'm celebrating the fact that this is the 10th episode. The 10th episode of Joy for Life. And I'm so, so excited because it has been a joyful opportunity. It has been vulnerable. And I've learned a lot about myself in the process. And I would love, love, love to hear from you, right? I would love to hear from you. So I'm toasting you. I'm celebrating you. I'm also celebrating me. And I'm celebrating in my mom's beautiful glasses that I just get to use when I'm feeling fancy or when I'm just drinking grapefruit juice. I don't know. But I'm celebrating the fact that we're winning. I'm out here winning, and you're going to be out here winning if you're not already. Recognizing the fact, just win. Let life guide you. Let life be a source for you. Let life help you bloom. Don't go against who you are naturally. Because that's what I was doing. I was afraid. I was like, but what if I'm great? Well, shoot, you already great. I was born great. April 15th, 1983. I was born great. I was born in love. Love is my essence. So the moment that I stopped believing in that, the moment that I get in my own way, and this is the key. Number 2, never stop praying. Your entire life is a prayer. Never stop praying. If you don't, whoever you pray to, whoever you have faith in, whoever you seek as a higher power, never stop believing, never stop acknowledging the source that guides you throughout your life. Because the minute you stop recognizing the source is the minute you think you're the only, you're out here doing all this. You think I'm doing this, I'm recording this podcast episode. You think Sam and Annabelle are like producing and editing it? Like their hand is guided. Their mind is guided. I'm being guided, channeled through here. So everything that you do has been touched and blessed for you. So here we are. I'm going to toast to you guys, all right? And if you don't drink, that's cool. Get some apple juice or whatever. But here's the thing. I love it here, and I'm so excited to continue guiding you and helping you with some tools to walk in your purpose and in your greatness. All right, so I'm going to take a little sip here. And we'll toast again at the end, unless I finish it all before that time, which is possible. So when I say number 2, prayers never cease. I realize the power of praying mothers and grandmothers. And I don't remember where I first heard that phrase, but the power of praying mothers and grandmothers is why I am where I am today. Because guess what they taught me? They taught me my mom was a faithful woman. Above all, she was so faithful, and her faith to God, her like unwavering that I'm praying, I'm writing, I'm taking notes, I'm listening, I'm believing in the fact that my life is divine. And if maybe my life is only divine because of because of what my kids are doing, right? Maybe that was like her purpose, is to birth my brother and I. And shout out to my brother who's like exceeding and doing amazing things in Dallas with his family, his growing family, with my niece, my nephew, my 2 nieces now, and my nephew and his beautiful wife. And just like Bloomy, he is operating in his greatness. And to see my big brother doing that warms my heart, especially as someone who so much that we have gone through, all the things that we have both gone through, both as a brother and sister, like unit in the same household, and then separately when we both kind of like charted out on our own individual paths. We never gave up. And even when life got hard, we never gave up. Operating in your greatness. Number 3, don't stop. Don't stop. Maybe that'll be the last one. I have no idea. I'm channeling these things right now. I've made notes in my head, but the thing is, never give up. Because if you give up, then you take your seat away from a table. You don't even build the seat. You don't even like pull up to the table and where you know you belong. And I talked about that before in like the past few episodes, saying yes to yourself, right? Like I counted myself out about that, thinking that I deserved a new car. Counting myself out thinking that I could run my own business. Counting myself out to think that I could actually have a budding and healthy like relationship with myself. I counted myself out for so many years because I played small and I kept myself small to make other people around me feel comfortable. Don't do that. Stop doing that. Don't give up on yourself. Stop giving up on yourself. Take an assessment of where you are right now in your life. And if you are not feeling the way that you want to feel each and every day, write down how you actually want to feel. And as, you know, I've quoted Della Hicks Wilson a few times, but she has this, one of my favorite things is like, ask your heart how it wants to feel each day and do that. How does your heart want to feel each day? And listen to that, own that, right? And a lot of times that's going to mean you're going to have to say no to a lot of stuff. And saying no to stuff isn't necessarily saying, it's saying yes to you. It's a yes to you, which is like the most important person to say yes to is yourself. And so if that means like disappointing someone or hurting someone's feelings, or again, I talked about that in the last few episodes about the I am. That's okay. You're winning. Anything that's not in alignment with you winning is not for you. Just keep winning. So, what's that, number 4? I don't know. I think I'm keeping track. I think I know how to count. Number 4, keep winning. Keep winning. And you know what? And even if you feel like something isn't a win, it's a lesson there. That's a win. If you don't feel like it's not a win, but you're still sitting here listening or watching this podcast, you're winning. Because if you did do something that was quite maybe precarious or quite something that you were just like, that was wild, I can't believe I made it out alive. There was a moment I did something so stupid when I lived in Chicago. I was driving 100 plus miles an hour down Lakeshore Drive in the middle of the night. I could have killed myself, and worse, I could have killed someone else. And I'm not saying that because I'm proud. I'm saying that the fact of like, damn, and I stopped for a moment because I was like out of my mind. I was so deep in my grief, and I was so buried in my unworthiness that I was like, what does it all matter anyway? And then a homegirl of mine was like, she was like, what were you doing? You matter. What was that about? What are you doing? What is going on? And she just met me. She didn't know me long. But the fact of the matter is she was like, okay, we got to talk. And again, that's a part of the winning. Knowing when to say, I need help. Knowing when to say, number 5, knowing when to say, I'm vulnerable. I need help. I'm struggling here. Getting out of your own ego, taking accountability. Number 6, taking accountability. Taking accountability for where you are in your life, right? Like, yeah, you're not where you want to be. Okay. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? I could easily list a whole thing of ways in which, why I self-sabotage. And it would be valid. Y'all would be like, okay, respect. But at the end of the day, I'm 39 years old. It's my choice. I'm a grown-ass woman. It is my choice to decide, do I still want to live in give someone else that power over me, feed this darkness that's inside of me that's not helping me to ascend to the next level. It's only slowly eating away at me. Do I want to keep feeding that? That's a choice. Or do I want to continue fueling the parts of me where my heart is thriving, my heart is beating? Do I want to feed that? Absolutely. Do I want to feed into budding relationships and conversations with people? Absolutely. Do I want to feed into the clients that I am just blessed to have, that chose me, that saw me and was like, listen, I see what you're doing and I want you to help my business take it to the next level? Yes, that is me being like, yes. Saying yes to myself, getting out of my own way, making a choice, because I could easily have sat in the muck. And then what happens? We sit in the muck, and then how do we grow? We sit in the muck, and then what happens? We don't bloom into the lotus. The lotus is fertilized, it's nurturized, it's watered, it's bloomed, it's tended to, it's pruned. That's you. That's right. That's where you are right now. So you have a choice. I think it's number 6. Make a choice. What do you want out of life? Do you want to be great or do you want to be mediocre? And mediocrity is the thing is, like, it's not a bad thing. It's just like, are you doing a disservice to yourself staying where you are? Staying medium when you deserve to be like hot. Right? And that it looks different from everybody. For everybody, your greatness is different than my greatness, but we all have the opportunity and the path charted for us to walk in our greatness. We all have that opportunity. I don't care who you are. I really don't. And I had an opportunity this weekend, a new client that I just got. Praise God. Thank you so much. To God be the glory. This new client that I got this past weekend, where it was their 40th anniversary, huge conference in Vegas for consumer attorneys, right? And it was like, whoa, okay, so they like hired me to go and capture content of their conference this weekend. And I was like, yes, I did it. And I sat in some rooms. I sat in rooms with some of the best trial attorneys in the country, y'all. Full stop. And me being who I am, I had no idea who they were. I only knew they were great because guess what they did? They operated in their greatness throughout the entire weekend. They operated in their greatness throughout their entire life. And that is the biggest thing I took away. I was like, listen, they're doing what they're doing. They're operating their greatness. They know they're good. You can't tell them. You can tell them shit. There's some guys in there who were like, nah, I know I'm great. And it's like, to me, I'm like, yes. And could not have been more kind. Could not have been more approachable, humble, could not have been more like, yeah, we're just here to help people. They operate in their greatness, y'all know they're great at helping people. Can you imagine? And then so I was sitting there like, wow, what am I doing right now? Why am I checking? Why am I counting myself out? Why am I having this internal conflict right now? What's going on? These people literally help people. I heard some stories that, oh my God, they were only for a few minutes. Some stories of people, families that were experiencing things that I was just like, that had gone through some shit. Kids being like, I'm not gonna even, it just stuff that I'm just like, dang. And not to compare tragedies, because I'll never do that. I'll never say one tragedy is like worse than another. But y'all, some of these tragedies I heard are way worse than what I've ever experienced in my life. That is for sure. And guess what? Those people kept going because they had someone on their team that decided they're going to operate in their greatness when they wake up in the morning and when they go to bed at night. They're going to operate in their greatness. Operate in their greatness. They're going to make a choice. So number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. Keep going, operating in your greatness, loving yourself and knowing your purpose, knowing your vision and knowing your why, knowing how you want to feel every single day. Believing in it. Like y'all really believing in it. And I talked about this in the affirmation episode when I said, like, at the end of my, relationship that I was in for 7 years where I just did not feel beautiful. I was like hiding in big clothes. I was like 40 pounds heavier than I am now. And I was just like not doing good. But I still decided to label a candle, I am beautiful. I still decided to label a candle, I am love. So I just, again, having the fact that like, you know what, like saying those things even if I wasn't really believing them, and then I started to believe them. Saying that I am great, even when I didn't think I'm great. I have a friend who told me, he goes, if you don't think you're great, who cares? Know that I think you're great. So if you can't label your greatness, if you can't call yourself and you can't say I am great, reach out to someone who will be like, you tripping. Dude, you're tripping. Girl, you're tripping. Friend, you're tripping. Come on. You know you're awesome. I know you're awesome. So if you can't remember if you're awesome, remember my voice and say, oh, my friend thinks I'm awesome. Oh, this person thinks I'm awesome. Because that's going to help me, especially as someone who, again, like I said, I had to have a call to Jesus moment with a friend who was like, no, what we doing? We talked about this. Why do you want to always find a problem? Why do you always want to find something wrong? Your life is great. You're winning. You wake up and you do what you want to do every single day. You wake up and you get to be free. You wake up every day, friends that's listening and watching, you're already winning. The minute you get out of bed, 10 toes down with God, let's go. That's what I say. So I'm going to leave you with that. Affirming, when your feet hit the ground, you're divinely guided and abundant and blessed and highly favored. Trust in the fact that your life is designed in a way in which you can win. Life is ready for you to win. All we got to do is step up to the plate, close the deal every day. Always be closing. The ABCs, one of the first things I learned in sales. Always be closing. Always be closing on the joy, the love in you, winning in life. All right? All right, y'all. I didn't get to read anything, but that's, That's fine. That wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, I am so excited to hear how this episode landed for you, ways in which you are going to start operating your greatness and stop counting yourself out, stop hiding from your greatness, and let life continue to help you win. Again, Ace Yoga LA, you can email me info@aceyogala.com. Remember to check out our new Instagram, A Box Full of Joy for Life, or I believe it's Box Full of Joy for Life. But yeah, it's one of those. My Instagram, Ace Yoga LA. Please message us. If you enjoyed watching us this season, I can't wait for you to come back for part 2, and stay tuned for that. But share this with someone who you know might be having a tough time right now. If you're like, listen, sis, I'm operating my greatness every single day, share it with someone. Share it with someone who might be struggling. Share it, period. You never know where it might land, all right? So I can't wait to hear from you all. Thank you so much for being here. And I love you so much. And here's a cheers to you. We love you. We see you. We got you. Stay great.